I shoot raw. Good morning, this is Jared Poland, FroKnowsPhoto.com, coming to you on this week of July 26th, bringing you the photo of the week. This week it is my friend Julie, who is a huge quilt blogger. You can check out her website if you're a quilt blogger. But this photo is what I am talking about when I talk about environmental portraits, taking photos of people in their natural environment doing what they do. Now, Julie isn't the easiest person to photograph because she will admit that she does not like getting her picture taken. Yeah, for somebody who doesn't like their picture taken, I came in with a 300 2.8 and every other lens and sat there and took pictures and just kept shooting because she was forgetting that I was there. That's the whole point. I mean, she normally forgets that I'm there anyway, but she really was like, I don't like getting my picture taken and blah, blah, blah. So anyway, she played music, so that got her mind off of what I was doing. I sat back, I talked to her without taking pictures, or I was talking to her while taking pictures just to keep her in a comfort zone and focused in on what she was doing. I didn't do much directing because she wasn't going to listen to me to begin with because she doesn't like looking at the camera and everything like that, which is a great thing. But sewing is very interesting, and trying to capture somebody in a room with one light and a desk lamp, and the desk lamp is one of those halogen daylight bulbs, which really wreaked havoc, whatever that word is, havoc on the white balance, because it's a flickering light and it's constantly sending out different colors. It's just weird. But anyway, it's a black and white, so it doesn't really matter. So why did I choose a 14 to 24 on this? Well, first I'll say I ran through so many lenses. 14 to 24, 24 to 70, 70 to 200. I picked up a 300. I did a fisheye, but the fisheye didn't do it justice. Probably ran through a 50 and an 85. Oh yeah, and I actually ran through a macro 105. I think that's every lens I actually own. The only one I didn't use was the 35 1.8. I don't think I owned it at that time. But here she is sewing. I thought a 14 to 24 would be the best to show the whole scene, to show where she works, where she sews. There is that machine on the right-hand side. I forget what they call it, but it's this machine that runs about 8 feet and is really interesting, makes lots of noise. Not that I got to hear it. But she's laying out a quilt for a magazine, and I believe she uses this photo as her banner on her page, which is pretty cool, except the fact that she cropped it. She didn't even get permission to crop it. She just did it. But I forgave her. That's okay. So let's look at the settings I used. Nikon D3S, Nikon 14 to 24 2.8, ISO 5000, 1/250th of a second at 2.8, 14mm lens. Now, I know a lot of you are going to ask or say that I had a fast enough shutter speed to drop my ISO. You are absolutely right. I could have probably dropped this to about a 60th of a second and stuck with about 2500 ISO or 3200 or less, but I didn't. I just shot at 5000 because I could and got a fast enough shutter speed because she was moving and sewing and I didn't want to blur anything. So that's really why I chose those settings. The 14 for this, I use symmetry. You know how we talk about rule of thirds and everything like that? I wanted to line up the room even, and that's why I used the 14 to 24 to get it wide and symmetric. I basically shot right in the middle of the room. I focused on Julie, recomposed right in the middle of the room, and shot it. And that's what I like about this. For an environmental portrait, it shows the whole scene. That's important to me when shooting these type of images. You want to show the whole scene. Converted it to black and white in Lightroom 2 at the time. Didn't do any noise reduction as I never, well, yes, pretty much never touch the noise reduction options in any of it because it looks like film grain to me. But, you know, Julie's one of those really good, she's a blogger and she's a quilter and she's really good at both. So you should definitely check out her page. I'll put a link in there because you never know. Maybe you'll find yourself into quilting. I know I have. You didn't get to see what I did with my hand. They gave one of those pumps like, yay. Anyway, that's really all I have to say about this photo. But when you're doing environmental portraits, it's about getting comfortable with your subject. I will probably use this image in the candid photography book, the ebook that I am writing, because this is just it's just capturing exactly what the scene was in a way that, you know, represents it very well. So when you're doing environmental portraits, get comfortable with your subject, speak to them, talk to them, which is the same as speaking to them. Make them feel comfortable that you're there shooting photos. Now, they know you're there shooting photos, so they're most likely not going to kick you out. So don't get too in their way. Just make them relaxed. You know, that's really the key to it. It's about being calm and capturing the moment that you're looking to capture and keeping your subject nice and calm and not worrying, even if they don't like getting their photo taken. Here, Julie just forgot about me totally while she was listening to her music and sewing. So that's a good thing. That means I was doing what I needed to do. And of course, she was complaining when I was shooting certain photos, like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? But you know what? Everything worked out well, and I will be doing a full walkthrough screen flow of that whole photo shoot so you can get a feel for what I did there. So that's been the photo of the week for July 26th. This is Jared Poland, FroKnowsPhoto.com. See ya. Get your free ebook.